Cubic Games recently celebrated its 21st birthday, and they're known, for me at least, for mobile and retro games being ported over to PC and console. And so I went on a bit of a sales spree, picked up quite a few because I don't mobile game intentionally. And so there's a few games that are on mobile that I thought I'd quite fancy having a go at that, and the Nom was one of them. This is an action-adventure game which sees you transformed into this kind of dark, liquidy, spidery creature that crawls around walls and smashes through windows, and it looks really funky and cool. And initially I was thinking, are we the bad guy? And we kind of are, but we're kind of not, because we're going to avenge the fact that we've been transformed into this by killing all of the scientists that we come across. Now, the way how this happens is through procedural or more kind of very light procedural generated levels, because you'll see the same thing over and over again extremely quickly. Crawling through the levels, killing the enemies, trying to avoid their vision and the security cameras that will shoot you if they spot you, and then get to the end of the level. Doing so will generate gems, which can do some story upgrades, I'll term them as, or coins, which you can then improve your character's stats from like the movement speed to the amount of energy or time that can be spent in fury mode when you've kind of smashed up enough enemies and then can unleash like a special attack. Or you can unlock more basic attacks, because you only start off with one, and then after a while you'll want to unlock throwing, electrocuting, stomping and ramming enemies, because they will either generate coins or gems or replenish some of your health if you've lost some. The main issue that I have with the Nom is that all of this sounds really good, but it's really dull in practice, because levels are repetitive, short, lacking difficulty, and it's really difficult to kill yourself in this game. You have to be particularly terrible. And the lack of variation from room to room to room to level to level to level just makes all of this premise and setup utterly fall through the floor, because you start off with hardly anything, you unlock very little, but you're expected to do that over several hours, and it goes back to that mobile trappings of all of the unlocks take lots of currency to unlock. That is blatantly structuring it in a way to kind of go, if you want to get all the good stuff, you can pay to win, and those kind of barriers haven't really been removed. Yeah, you can do it all in in-game currency and not need to buy anything because you've bought the game, but it's too little stretched out too thinly for me to make this a real recommendation. A comment on the difficulty though, this game is almost eyes closed easy, but there is a stealth mode that can take away all of your attacks, and that feels a bit more puzzly, and that would be more enjoyable if the game didn't handle more like a rolling ball platformer that's too woolly for its own good. And because everything feels so hands-off and imprecise, I'm not saying that it was a unsatisfying experience, but it just didn't feel as cool, and I didn't feel as in control of this badass character that I thought I was going to be, and therefore it all just kind of fell a bit flat. So I'm grateful that I've tried the Nom, but it will not be a nom-nom for me to take in future, I'm afraid. So yeah, not a recommendation, and just a more interesting curiosity in mobile to console and PC ports.